What's going on, guys? I'm Latronus, and today we're going to be talking about the Warden class once again. It's going to be launching in the Morrowind expansion in the Elder Scrolls Online in June of this year. The skill line we're going to be talking about today specifically is Green Balance, which is the healing skill line. I kind of wanted to talk about Green Balance and Winter's Embrace skill lines when they released actual footage of all the abilities, but it's been like 2 weeks since my last Elder Scrolls Online video, and Bethesda hasn't released any videos or live streams about it yet. So I thought I'd go through and just talk about all the abilities and just tell you about them, and then I'll just run some Morrowind, screenshots and content in the background that you guys can watch while you listen to me talk through all of the skills, all of the morphs, all of the passives of the Green Balance skill line. And then in the next video, either a day from now or 2 days from now, I'll go over the Winter's Embrace skill line. So just to give you an overview of the Green Balance skill line, we're going to read Bethesda's description, which right here says, when using Green Balance, your Warden draws healing and protective boons from nature itself. Green Balance is perfect if you're interested in keeping all your teammates alive with the fast blooming plants of the Healing Seed ability, or helping your tank stand toe-to-toe with the enemy via Living Vines. So the Healing Seed and Living Vines are both abilities that we're going to be talking about a little bit later on, but the ability we're going to be talking about right off the bat, we're going to go through all the active abilities, and then we're going to go through the passive abilities, and we're going to talk about the ultimate ability for this skill line also. So we're going to jump right into it. It's a lot of stuff. Let's see how fast we can get through it. So yeah, first active ability is Fungal Growth. This is going to be your main healing ability for this class. Sorry if you heard that, I just hit the mic. Fungal Growth is what it is called. It's seed a large area of mushrooms that heals you and 6 allies in your frontal cone with a 20-meter radius and 60-degree angle. So it's a really long cone that's going to do an instant heal. The first morph is called Enchanted Growth, which is going to allies affected gain minor intellect and major endurance, increasing magicka and stamina regeneration by 10% for 20 seconds. So remember, this is going to affect you as well as everybody in front of you. So if you're low on magicka or you're low on stamina, you can throw off this ability, heal some allies, and get magicka and stamina regeneration at the same time. And it's going to give you all your allies magicka and stamina regeneration too. So this healing is going to be like in the Templar class, you have a separate ability for getting people's stamina up, and you have a separate ability for healing, and this kind of combines those two abilities together. So you're going to be healing and providing magicka and stamina regeneration in one go. So I feel like the Enchanted Growth morph is kind of going to be the one you're going to want to go for. But there's also the Soothing Spores morph, which turns it from a magicka ability to a stamina ability. And so in turn, it scales off your max weapon damage. So if you're really into stamina and your max weapon damage is really high and your max stamina is really high, then this is going to be a lot bigger heal. And it's going to be a stamina heal, which is definitely interesting. So yeah, that's all it does. It just scales off of max stamina. And if you're healing an ally less than 8 meters away, it's 15% stronger. So if you're really into like a stamina build class, then you're definitely going to want to do the Soothing Spores morph. And then if you're kind of going for a healer build, you're going to want to do the Enchanted Growth morph. So the next ability up is called Healing Seed, which is just going to be kind of like an off heal that you're going to want to put up basically every 6 seconds if you're going to be a healing class with the Warden. So it's called Healing Seed, which is summon a field of flowers which blooms every 6 seconds, healing 6 targets in the area with an 8-meter radius and 28-meter range. Only one field may be active at a time. Allies may activate the Healing Seed synergy to heal over 5 seconds. So basically what this means is you have a heal that acts like an archer's arrow volley. So the archer shoots the volley, and then a few seconds later it comes and rains down arrows. Basically, you're going to shoot your flower field over there, and then 6 seconds later the flowers are going to bloom and they're going to get healed. But the kicker is that if you spawn it right on top of somebody and they do the Healing Seed synergy, it's going to automatically heal that single player for over 5 seconds, and then 1 second later they're going to get more healing when your field blooms. So that's going to be a really cool ability, especially to spawn in your tank, because you put it on your tank, he spawns it, he gets 5 seconds of healing, 1 second of no healing, and then he gets more healing. So that's going to be a really cool ability to keep putting on top of your tank, and I think tanks are going to really like that a lot. So the first morph for this is called Corrupting Pollen, which is going to afflict enemies who enter the field with Major Defile, reducing healing received by 37% for 4 seconds. So basically, in PvP, you can spawn this right on a group of PvP enemies that are getting healed, and their healing's going to drop by 37%. That's the only situation where I can really see that morph being really useful. So if you're really into PvP and you're kind of do like a healing build or like an off hybrid build or something, you may want to run Corrupting Pollen morph, because you could kind of do some cool things with it. But the second morph for the healing seed ability is called Budding Seeds. And for this one, while the field grows, you can activate this ability to make the bloom instant. So basically, if you cast the ability and then you cast the ability again, then it's going to bloom instantly. So instead of waiting 6 seconds and then a heal, you can double cast and get an instant heal. But it's also going to cost you double the magicka. So that's, it's going to be double the magicka, but you can also get an instant heal off. It's kind of like the Templar. I forget exactly what the heals are called. The Templar has a heal where you can throw it up as an instant heal, but it costs a lot of magicka. Or he has the one where, he kind of prays for a second and then it heals. So it's kind of the difference between that, but it's within one ability. And you still get the synergy where your ally can activate it and heal over 5 seconds. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Living Vines, which this one's kind of an interesting one. It grows vines to embrace you or the lowest health ally in front of you within a 28 by 12 meter radius for 10 seconds. So it's a big radius. And the vines heal the target each time they take damage. This effect can occur every 1 second. So basically, it's kind of like a shield, but in a weird way, wherein you put it on them and every time they get attacked, they actually heal as well as get damaged. So basically, it's going to take off a percent of whatever damage they get taken. It's going to take off a percent of that and heal them back. So the first morph for this is called Leeching Vines, which the vines apply minor lifesteal to enemies that damage the target for 10 seconds, healing you and your allies every 1 second when damaging that enemy. So basically, whoever has the Living Vines on them, so like, I assume it's going to kind of look like the Dragon Knight's tank ability where all the spikes come out of him, but something with like vines around your chest, around your legs or something like that. So whoever has that around them, if an enemy attacks them, then that enemy is going to have minor lifesteal. So if you attack the enemy who has minor lifesteal, you will get healed for 10 seconds. So that one's kind of interesting. And PvP, I think, is going to do some really cool things because you could apply this to yourself. And then when you can apply this to yourself. And then when your enemy attacks you, you get healed. And then when you attack your enemy, you also get healed. So it's kind of a really cool ability. I think you could do some really sweet things with. The next morph for this is called Living Trailus. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But this one, when the vines expire, they heal the target an additional amount. I don't know how much it is, but if it's a big amount, then this one might be worth it over the other one. So yeah, 10 seconds go by and then you get a big heal at the end as well as all the little heals in between. So next up, the second to last skill we're looking at is called Lotus Flower, which embrace the Lotus Blessing, causing light attack to restore health and your heavy attack to restore health to you or a nearby ally within 12 meters for 17 seconds. So this is an active ability. At first when I read it, I was like, oh, that's a super cool passive, but it's actually an active ability. So you're going to activate this, and then for 17 seconds, your light attacks are going to heal you, and your heavy attacks are going to heal you or an ally that is within 12 meters. So if the ally has low health or lower health than you, then it will actually heal the ally when you do heavy attacks, which is going to be really cool for tanks and stuff like that, because if you're close enough to your tank, you can pop this and then do heavy attacks on the boss, and it will heal your tank, which I think that's going to be pretty sweet. So the first morph for the Lotus Flower skill is called Green Lotus, which, let me hurry in, I lost my spot real quick. So the caster gains Major Savagery, increasing weapon critical for 20 seconds. So if you're more of a stamina build, this is going to be the one you want to go for, since you're going to be doing, weapon criticals, you're going to be meleeing and stuff like that. So that's the one you're going to want to do if you're melee, or if you're ranged or magicka focused, you're going to want to do this second morph, which is called Lotus Blossom. And this morph, let's hurry and get to it real quick. Caster gains Major Prophecy, increasing spell critical for 20 seconds. So if you're magicka based, you're going to want to go with the Lotus Blossom morph. And then if you're stamina based or melee based, you're going to want to go with the Green Lotus morph for the Lotus Flower, if that's a skill you're going to even want to use in the first place. Sounds pretty cool to me. Basically just getting Major Prophecy or Major Savagery along with healing. So basically just kind of a lot of little things it does at the same time, which in the end is going to add up to a lot of healing and a lot of extra damage. So I think it's going to be a really cool ability to have slotted. The last skill line, not the last skill line, the last skill we're looking at today is called Nature's Grasp. So this one is swing up to 22 meters to targeted ally, healing them over 10 seconds. So basically this is an escape. It's a really big escape too. Not a lot of classes have escapes in this game, but this one does. If you play stuff like Dota or League of Legends, escapes are a really big deal. But basically, you look at a target and you swing, maybe like a big vine comes down and you swing across something. I don't really know. It's probably going to be a really cool animation because all these animations they're doing tend to be super cool. But you swing 22 meters to an ally and then you heal them over 10 seconds. And the first morph for the Nature's Grasp skill is Nature's Embrace, which is going to heal you and them over 22 seconds. So if you're like, crap, I'm low health, I got to get out of here, you turn around, you swing to the ally that's like 22 meters away, and then instantly you and him start receiving healing and receive healing over 10 seconds. So the next morph is called Bursting Vines, which as soon as you swing to your ally, it instantly heals them, which is going to be really cool because depending on the cooldown of this, I feel like the cooldown is going to be kind of high, but if the cooldown is relatively low, then you could swing into your tank, instantly heal them, and then stay alive for like a couple seconds, and then hurry and swing back out of the fight, maybe to like a ranged companion or, like a Sork or something like that that's outside the battle a little bit. So you can swing in, heal your tank, and then swing out and then heal your sorcerer, and then keep on healing like that. So this class is definitely going to be a class that's going to be moving around a lot based on this skill line and the Animal Companion skill line, which if you haven't seen the Animal Companion skill line video, I'm going to link it in the description. You should go watch that one. The Animal skill line is like the main skill line I think people are going to use for the Warden class. Anyway, we're going to jump into the ultimate ability, and then we're going to talk about the passives. So the ultimate ability is called Secluded Grove. So yeah, I'll just read the description to you guys. It says, instantly swell a healing forest around you or an ally within an 8-meter radius and 28-meter range, restoring health to 6 targets. The forest continues to heal you and all allies in the area every 1 second over 6 seconds. So basically you cast this. It's kind of like the archer's, arrow volley again. It has an 8-meter radius but 28-meter range. So you can cast this on allies that are pretty dang far away from you, and as soon as you cast it, they all get healed with a healing forest, whatever that's supposed to mean. It's probably going to be some cool animation. But healing forest comes up, instantly heals, and then all allies in the area heal 1 second over 6 seconds. Every 1 second over 6 seconds. So I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of healing, just all going on at the same time for 6 seconds. So basically, if everyone's getting low on health, it's like this is going to be your skill that you pop just to save everybody's life, basically. And I feel like it's going to work out really, really well. I'm going to talk about the morphs real quick. So the first morph is called Healing Thicket, which is when the effect ends, allies continue to receive healing over 4 seconds. So basically, effect ends, and then you receive healing again for 4 more seconds. So basically, it's every 1 second for 10 seconds instead of every 1 second for 6 seconds. The second morph is called Enchanted Forest, which is going to just give you 20 ultimate if you heal an ally that's under 50% health. So if you cast it and there's a guy under 50% health, which there probably is going to be because it's kind of like a saving ability to like save your team or save your squad in PvP or whatever you're doing, then you instantly gain 20 ultimate back, which isn't a huge deal, but you know, it's definitely going to help you get this ultimate back a lot faster. So now we're going to look at the passive abilities. Yeah, we'll just jump right into it. The first one is accelerated growth, which is when healing you or an ally under 50% health with a green balance ability, gain major mending, increasing your healing done by 25% for 6 seconds. So if you're a big healer and you have a lot of these healing abilities on, which if you're healing on this class, you're definitely going to want a lot of these healing abilities. Basically, you're going to have this passive. Every single time you heal somebody, your healing is going to be increased by 25% for 6 seconds. Then when the effect ends, you can just heal somebody else. And again, for 6 seconds, your healing is up by 25%. So basically, if you're a big healer with the Warden, this is going to be up all the time. So you can basically base all your heals 25% up, which is really, really cool. I don't know, it sounds a little overpowered. I feel like that could get nerfed a little bit because 25% extra healing all the time is a little bit ridiculous. And it kind of negates some of like the major defile and stuff like that, taking it from like 37% down to 12%, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, the next passive ability is Nature's Gift, which is when healing with a green balance ability, gain magicka or stamina, restores your lowest resource pool. So basically, you throw out a healing spell and your magicka or stamina gets restored, whichever one's lower. So if you're kind of having trouble with like resource management, if you throw a healing ability just somewhere on one of your bars and you have this passive equipped, you can switch that, throw that healing out, and instantly you're going to gain some magicka or stamina back, whichever bar is lower. So that's super cool. And it might kind of convince some like more DPS oriented builds to run a healing ability, which would be kind of cool to have like a random off heal all of a sudden to kind of help your healer out. Because I'm a heal most of the time, so I know sometimes it can be really rough. And if someone shoots off a healing ability, it's like, oh, thank you, you know, because you know that, you know, just that little bit of extra healing can give the healer just a tiny bit of break to, you know, do some better resource management themselves. So it'd be cool to see some DPS builds taking on that passive and then an extra healing ability. So the second to last one is Emerald Moss, which increase healing done for green balance abilities by 2% for each green balance ability slotted. This is a pretty general passive. A lot of classes have this, so 2% extra healing done for every green balance ability slotted. Definitely going to want to do that if you're a healer, if you're playing as a healer for the Warden class. The last passive we're going to talk about is Maturation, which is when healing you or an ally with a green balance ability, grant them minor toughness, which increases max health by 10% for 20 seconds. So basically, you throw out a heal, you or your ally gets 10% extra health. So this is like, the first thing that came to mind is like 1v1 PvP situations. So say you're about to get into a 1v1, you throw out a heal and heal yourself, then you're going to be going into that battle with 10% extra health on top of, you know, whatever other buffs you're running or food you're running. So basically, every time you go in battle, you're going in with 110% health, which can definitely change battles greatly. And I think that's going to be kind of a cool like 1v1 PvP situation skill to use. And even when you're running dungeon stuff, this would be kind of cool because randomly players will just get 10% more health and will be like, you know what though, that's cool. And then it'll go away in 20 seconds. And 20 seconds is actually really long duration. And in 20 seconds, I can guarantee that 10% health as long as you're constantly battling. That extra 10% is going to go away before the 20 seconds is even up. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is going to sum up the green balance skill line. Either tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to be going over the Winter's Embrace skill line. So if you're excited for that, if you liked the video, go ahead and drop a like rating. It would really, really help me out a lot to see your guys' opinions. If you enjoyed the video, check out my channel. I have a bunch of gaming content, Elder Scrolls Online content over there. I'm going to be covering a lot of Morrowind stuff all the way up to launch. Then when it launches, I'm going to be like live streaming the main story, and I'm going to be making character builds and stuff. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in gaming in general, you're going to want to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be playing like a bunch of awesome stuff. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.